All right, so I've got a really nice afternoon. Kids are down for a nap. I went ahead and came on out, and I'm working on my bows a little bit more. I was going to do a video on steam bending, but I ended up not doing it because I was actually fighting with this one. I did get it straight enough to go ahead and knock, and you'll see I've used side knocks, so they're both on the same side. And what that does is compensate for the what twist remains in this little bow. So you can still see that twist right up here. It kicks out to the to that one direction, but overall, the string would be centered if I strung it up. I've just started to tiller it. You can kind of see that. I think I'm gonna have to thin out the tips just toward the tips just a little bit more. This one though is coming along quite nicely. Now I actually stuck this one in my car. That is south, so the sun comes up and beats down on this direction, and my driveway faces that direction. So sitting in my passenger seat, I was actually able to let this kind of kiln dry for a few minutes, or a few hours, sorry, and I ended up with that perfectly centered string. And if I string this one, it's kind of a mock-up real quick. That is what I get, and I cannot complain about that. As far as results, it's not going to be near the poundage I wanted, but this is probably going to be a nice little snappy bow when I'm all the way done with it. I'm not going to tweak it anymore. I might just do a light sanding with an aggressive grit sandpaper, but just a very, very light sanding, get all the little fuzzies off of it, and that one will be good to go. But I've started my series called Starting a Hickory Bow, and this is the bow that I'm actually going to make. This is out of the big log. I've already split it, and I'm only going to get one bow out of that log because this is the piece that split off. I started it here and I split it down, and you can see right over my shoulder how that turns up like that. This thing came and then actually split off the main log. So down here at the bottom, this actually was like this. So I had to actually take that down and plane it all down. So now you can see that, I've got a really nice half to start with. And it's stout enough. I busted out my tomahawk and hogged that off. So the next step will be coming to the tip. And I like to start with the tip and work down, because obviously you can tell if you're, going, you can follow the lines a lot better. But a lot of these bows, especially a little sapling bow, the top of it, where it grew out of the ground, the top part will actually be naturally tillered a little bit because it tapers up to that side. So what I've got to do is start here just a little tiny bit, not cut way down in, but just take the edge off, and then start going up or down it, because this end is just over 2 fingers width. This end is actually just over 3 fingers width. So I've got to make a square profile, and then I'll worry about like this end being thicker than this end. I'll plane it down this way a little bit, and then I'll have my rough out to start with. And this bow is going to be pretty stout. I'm 5'6", so my from wingtip to wingtip is 5.5 feet, and I've only got a foot, maybe 16 inches. So this is over 4.5 feet. These other little bows here that I started with for practice are 4 foot even, which is about what I usually end up with. And according to my research, most Native American bows were about 4 foot, give or take. Longer bows did exist. I know for a fact that the Cherokee had like a 5 or so foot bow, and they call that the Cherokee longbow, not to be mistaken with an English longbow or a European longbow. They're two completely different animals. European longbows that are a foot taller than the user, those were made. They could be used for hunting, sure, but those were war bows made for punching through chainmail and plate and whatever else. you know, these were a hunting bow in North America. Most of them were hunting bows that could then be used in warfare if needed. But the Cherokees did have a long bow. I think they usually used black locust and then Osage orange after the Trail of Tears. When they came, they had to come west a ways. But anyways, this should be a good bow. I'm hoping for, I'm going to shoot for a 45 to 50 pound bow. But anyways, I'm going to get started on this, and I'll do updates. I think I pretty well covered the step-by-step process in the smaller bows, and those like that are great practice. But there's really so much you can show on a video. You really got to, you know, get the head knowledge from, you know, like say watching videos like I did, and then you know, you got to start working the wood with the tools and stuff. So I really like this as a hobby. I've taken it up this year. I did leatherworking a couple years ago, and that's where my leather belt kit stuff came from. You know, get out and make a bow or spear or arrows, whatever. Anyways, I'll do some updates on this, and we'll see you guys later.